protection, they're two separates. But what you can do is copy and paste your letter, put that in there and send it. But what I'll do is I'll get TJ's version off his page.
Yeah.
And I'll put some blanks in there so you can put your details in. I'll put in a link on my link tree.
Okay.
And I'll also put the document there so you can just copy and paste it to make your life easy.
If you make a post, could you tag me in it, please, so I could
I'm
read
going to tag Lucy,
Yeah,
yourself,
I was just going to say.
Miss Red, Alec, everybody that's doing all these awarenesses. I'm going to tag them in and get everybody to do one thing, one way, and then it's all going to get highlighted as a great big push. Because if we do it all separately,
yeah,
it's getting missed.
If you could do that for me, tag me in. I will print off a load of it, or I will send it to every school in my area and surrounds. I haven't got children at school age anymore, but I would be more than happy to.
If you want a list of your school's email addresses, if you go into the council website,
yeah,
type looking for schools, and they do lists of schools and their contact details.
Yeah. This is amazing. This is what we need to see. We need to see a result. We need to see some sort of movement on this, rather than just keep repeating and us going around having these same conversations.
Lyrical, I'll drop down if you want. I just don't know how to do it. And thank you for letting us up. And thank you, Eddie, for the man with a plan. That's
it's all right. It's
thank you so much, and thanks everybody else as well.
Thank you, Tonya. I'll help you get down. Thank you for coming in the box.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to drop down, get all this set up. Give me a couple of hours because it's not easy to set it all up. Okay. And I'll send you the copy of it, the links to it, Lyrical, and the post. And because I'm concerned, I'm doing my magic. And I want to do it for children, but I need the adults to be online. So I'm going through all the safeguarding for that. So it's literally all in my head. So I'll get that one for TJ, get it checked out by somebody I know, make sure it's all above board. I might leave it a blank so everybody can put other accounts in there.
Yeah.
For other content creators, because we don't want to just hit one. We want to say due to this content creator getting gifted somebody unalived himself, and list all the issues. It makes them harder just to go, oh, we'll brush that on to one side. So I'm going to drop down, get some work done now, so I need to do it, and I'll let you know as soon as I've done it, and we'll get it pushed out to everybody.
Thank you. Just stay there a second. Hang on. Can everyone give Eddie a follow so we can pick up these links later?
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you give me a follow? Because obviously I'm travelling at the minute, so it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, everyone give Eddie a follow so that when these links are put out and post later, you can help. We need to get these letters seen by all of the schools, all of the MPs, everyone, and raise awareness on this.
And there'll be also a plan. So if you've not heard after 14 days, that I'll try and put a reply, an update letter asking for an update. And if you've not heard from another 14 days, then you can start pushing the ICO for the schools not doing their job.
Amazing,
so
amazing, Eddie.
I'll try and get as much of it done. Some of it might not be right, some of it might be wrong, but I'm doing my best.
Thank you so much for coming into the boxes and providing this, because this is, we've had it in the chat today where people want to contact their schools, but they don't know how to word it. They don't know what to say, because if people aren't on TikTok, sometimes it's a bit hard to explain to non-TikTokers how this is working and what's going on. So this is ideal if everyone could have like a format to use, and it'll spread even further then. So well done to Eddie. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Not a problem. It's we just need somebody to step up, work with everybody, and get it done. And let's get this platform safe for kids that you're supposed to be for, not for adults taking it over.
Absolutely. Good morning, Positive Vibes. Hello, darling.
Morning. Right, I've got concerns about this.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I've got concerns about it. So obviously, as someone who used to be part of the hunting community, a lot of people who've been around that kind of, who've watched the stings maybe or whatever, will know the name Mark Feely. Now, what happened with Mark Feely was that many shit teams went and lit him up. They made him popular amongst children. So in schools, children were actually excited when Mark Feely followed them because of his notoriety on social media. Kids didn't see the bigger picture. They just thought, oh my God, Mark Feely's followed me. It's a proven fact. We proved it in the community. That's why the community stopped talking about him, stopped lighting him up, stopped posting him anywhere. And I feel like this could become a problem with this, whatever he's called. Because kids are going into his life, the more people talk about him, children will see it as a big thing if he follows them back. Like, this is the problem we had with the Mark Feely thing. Like, he just became popular for all the wrong reasons, but in the minds of kids, they followed him back because it was like, he's followed me as he followed you. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's my worry, that this is going to happen with this guy on here.
I think that horses, I understand that. I'm not in the hunting community, but I know who Mark Feely is from the hunting community. Do you know what I mean? However, there's going to be a lot of parents that aren't aware of what's going on TikTok. Because a lot of kids, let's face it, don't always tell their parents what's going on. So I think what is being attempted is to go through, you know, the higher platforms such as schools, MPs, to spread awareness to parents so that parents can block these accounts on their children's devices, that sort of thing. But I think the horse is bolted in the sense that he's already got something like 4.5 million followers on his main account.
Yeah, and I bet you a lot of them are children. It's worrying, like, it's
scary.
Kids don't see things the way we see it as parents and adults. Like, they just don't see it, do they? And it is scary.
In the moment, when they're in those boxes, they're thinking that they're getting notoriety, they're getting famous on TikTok. They don't see the wider picture. And when you try and explain it to them, they get frustrated and offended, thinking you're trying to spoil their fun and all the rest of it. But it's not. But they just don't see it. It's so hard. So hard. Good morning, Team Lacken. Are you okay?
If you listen to it last night, obviously I was on the live with Lucy. If you listened to it last night, they were getting excited for the simple fact that they reached 10k. Now you've got people on here struggling to get to 10k. People that actually make content and create content to get to 10k. And yet these people were getting 10k in a matter of minutes. And yeah, they were just getting excited about it. There was so much hype around it.
It's worrying, like, the kids will go and look him up. The more, like, you know, they'll see it, and it's just kids' instinct, especially teenage kids, you know what I mean? You can have the most well-behaved child on the planet who you think you know, but once they're with their peers at school, all that changes.
And that's the thing is if one kid finds it cool and tells another 10, and it just spreads like wildfire, doesn't it? It's really scary. Morning, Bethany.
Morning, you okay? Sorry, my voice is I was in that competition last week, so my voice is all going, so I sound a bit cracky. I just wanted to come up to say that if you do want me to start, I can happily get a petition started up, because if we can get 100,000 signatures on that petition and get it shared out, that then has to be seen in Parliament, has to be heard in Parliament. I think there's a certain one as well where they have to... There's one where they have to, like, take it on board, but if it's 100,000 signatures, it actually has to be heard in the Parliament. So I think that might be really good to try.
We've done a few petitions, but ultimately it all gets referred back to the online bill that has, you know, because it all sort of, the online bill will deal with all of this sort of stuff within it. That's just, you know, such a long way away from being actioned at the moment. We're talking 6 to 8 months.
So because of the online bill, the petitions basically don't get listened to.
Because what the petition's about will be covered within that online bill.
Yeah.
Which is looking at social media sites, child safety, the gifting, the bullying.
It's crazy how none of this has already been looked at before all these apps was allowed to even be.
Well, if you look at what powers are available at the moment, and that is the law, and exploitation of minors for financial gain is a criminal offence. You know, harassment, bullying isn't necessarily a criminal act, but there's things around it that can be. You know, there's all sorts of malicious communications. There's all different things that the law could be looking at. Ultimately, I think the people that are responsible are obviously those that are hosting these types of lives, and also the parents that are allowing their kids to in them.
Because my kid's 12 and he's nearly 13, and he keeps saying when he goes 13, can he have TikTok? And he's autistic anyway, so there's no way I can allow him to be on this app at all. But it's just worrying because obviously once they're even 16, you know, they're still young, but then they've got a bit more of a, you know, ability to get on without the parents even being able to stop them. So it is worrying.
And in the current world, our teenage children, 14, 15, 16, mentally, I feel are a bit more advanced from when we were 14, 15. The things that they're experiencing in the current world and in what they're taught in schools. But they are still minors.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Vulnerable because they're naive. They don't have life experience, and this is what's sickening me, is that this is being focused. The focus is to have children in those boxes. If it was adults, none of us would care, would we?
No.
We don't get bananas. But to me, it's the fact that it is children, and that's the audience he is attempting to attract into the lives, and that's where it's dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Because, like you say,
it's all about parental control, though. My children had social media. Even doing what I did, my kids had social media. Once they reached the age where they were allowed to have social media, they had it.
Yeah.
My kids, I had their passwords to everything they had on their phone until they were 16.
Same. Yeah, same. I do Aiden, he doesn't even like me looking through. I go through he's got like a little chat with people that he plays Roblox with, and he hates that I go through it, but it's and most of the time, well, all of the time, it is just kids being kids, just talking about. But you've got to be checking, because if you're not checking, there could just be this one time where an adult has got in there posing as a kid or whatever, and it goes the same thing for TikTok. It could just be that one time they're scrolling to the wrong person's live.
Yeah, and I tell you now, Roblox, out of every app I ever deployed on, Roblox is the worst.
Yeah,
Roblox
definitely.
The worst for predators.
Yeah, because they can get away with it because they don't have to show the face, and they don't have to show, they can just talk in chat and stuff like that, where it's like commenting so the person wouldn't even know. Whereas when he's been on Fortnite and stuff before, I've been able to listen into the headset to make sure the kid's talking on the other side and stuff. So yeah, it's even more difficult when it comes
I had somebody message my son on Roblox, and my son is only young, but obviously I always check it because that's what I do. When he's on Fortnite, he always thinks, but I actually had someone message my son on Fortnite, asking to send a photo of my son's, but
I bet you know, right, as an example.
I soon took that game straight off the computer and never ever allow them that again.
Yeah.
As an example, I could make a 12-year-old decoy account right now on Roblox, right? Right now. Before this live ends, I will have been messaged off at least 100 men.
Yeah.
If I made
this is why you can't not check, no matter how much you think you've educated your child, no matter how much you think you trust your child, and you don't know the manipulation of these predators. These predators will do anything in the means to, get talking to them where they don't tell the parents and stuff. So you can never, like you say, a kid's more vulnerable to fall for that and stuff. Us as adults won't fall for it, we'd know to report it, but a child's a lot more vulnerable to. This is why I think TikTok needs banning for kids, full stop. Like, there's no way we're going to ever be able to.
I know, but this app was for children, and adults have taken over it. So
yeah, but I just think no matter what, it's sad, but we're never going to be able to monetize it properly. So we need to be pushing as well for it to be 18 ideally, but 16 minimum.
I do think 13's a bit too age.
Yeah.
Can I just say, while you're all obviously talking about this field, there is a few other groups that are going around, not doing beef battles, but they are actually talking to predators on an app, and there's loads of kids also sat in this app, and the man is telling them what app this is on. But the man is only a child himself, talking to fully grown men, saying that he is 14, but then also he's being rude to these men to get them men to talk, and then calling them predator. But he's also giving out the predator's Snapchat names, so everybody in that box that are children are also getting his Snapchat names, which also I think needs looking into, because he's started doing it now, and he's doing it the wrong way, which can actually get him more into trouble for it because of the words that he's saying. Because if, like, you're a decoy, you've got to be very careful with what you say. You can't go to them and say, I want you in my bed. They've got to be the ones that come to you and say it. So he's doing it totally different as well. But I'm a bit worried about that group, because there is a lot of children.
The thing is that the way he's doing it, nothing will ever stand up in court. Like, he could get them men talking absolute vile to him, but because of the way he's approaching it, the case would never stand up in court, ever. That guideline should know to seal the case.
That is what I said to him the other day. I said, if you want to take this to court, mate, you're going to be the one that gets into trouble.
The thing with Snapchat as well, what's a worry is they can literally get a burner phone, and they can make a fake account with Snapchat, and they can...
And people have their locations on Snapchat as well, so
exactly.
That's a bit even more dangerous.
Yeah, I've even watched stuff on like these crime things where they've really struggled when it comes to Snapchat to being able to get any sort of, do you know, even with the things the police have to try and get conversations back and stuff, unless it's been on an Apple device that they've, do you know.
Yeah, well, I will say, I did see a Snapchat a Snapchat video on this app.
Morning, Lindsay.
About AI. And he was actually talking back to a girl wanting to meet this girl on the park. The person screenshotted all the chat before. Then, obviously, when he screenshotted it, the chat's changed, and it's AI saying, sorry, we misunderstood. I should have screenshotted it. But just be very careful of that as well, because it's a bit weird. And there's that many apps now that they can get into. And it's terrible that our children are on this app watching this and thinking it's okay. It's not right.
The thing you've got to remember with Snapchat as well is that every single time you get an update on Snapchat, your maps are instantly online.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have Snapchat myself, and so my son's luckily never been interested in it, but I know it is a very popular app amongst young people.
I find it very confusing to understand. Sniping's going left, up, down, screenshot. I don't understand.
Because I've had messages before what I've wanted to screenshot, and they just go so fast on Snapchat. They can have it where they can just disappear within seconds of you opening it, and that's what's scary as well. Because unless you are police and you have got, means to be able to hack into that and see what's being said, then. And unless you've got proof for police to be doing that, then that's where it's made very easy for them to get away with it as well.
And messages that disappear. So as parents, when we're checking devices, we're not seeing that disappeared.
That's why my son's settings on his Snapchat, I've actually got into them where he can't delete any of his messages. So when I go through his phone, everything is still there.
See, I know with iPhone, but I don't know how it works with Snapchat, because obviously I don't use it, my son don't, but I've got iPhone and my son has, so I've got it set up for family. So every message he gets, emails, text, stuff like that goes through, but I wouldn't know how it would work with Snapchat. I can imagine they wouldn't go through because it's a separate app.
Morning, Pippa. How are you today, darling?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm just listening. Sorry, I've been dipping in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go off track or anything, but I just got blocked from another platform for no reason. It's just I just find it really upsetting. Sorry, that's probably nothing to do with anybody.
I don't know. I don't. It's a golden rule, and to keep myself and my platforms safe,
don't speak about it.
I don't talk about other creators' platforms, because we all know how things can get misconstrued.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a volatile app, isn't it? And it's fine. I'm okay with it. Anyway, I've got big love.
There's always going to be people that on here, unfortunately, that are judgy and affect you.
Yeah, it is what it is, so I'm fine with it. So honestly, I'm not a troll or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be frustrating, this app, can't it? It can be like, what?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I've got that. So just, yeah, I've said. So you were talking about children being on this app, aren't we, at the moment? Yeah.
Yeah, and child safety.
Yeah. I don't agree with it. I don't care what everyone says it was child's app to begin with. It's not anymore. The only people I see on this app are adults. So it's adult content. And I do think it should be like, I think I said this yesterday, my nephew's 14. He doesn't have his phone on a night. He's training to be a professional footballer. And they are licensed to what is, they can see what he's doing. He's not allowed on TikTok for a start anyway. And they oversee what he's doing on his phone. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I think, like, no matter what, it's too unsafe. Like, even...
even for adults.
Saying, like, Roblox, it's very unsafe. And Roblox, after 13, you can start chatting on actual headset, which is worrying because my son's coming up 13 and he keeps saying how he's excited to be able to chat on headset.
Oh, right, okay. What is that, like gaming? Because I know that's another thing. Is it gaming?
Yeah, but I'm just really
Yeah.
I won't let him play any sort of games that he has to talk on a headset away from me.
Yeah, no, because there's a lot of bullying, a lot of like...
My friend's kid was being bullied and it was a prime example.
Yeah.
He got his number through school and it was on Snapchat and she'd not seen it because there were messages was obviously getting deleted. And it ended up coming out her son was getting really badly bullied and it is weird. But I don't think this app at all is safe enough, or Facebook.
I think it's hard enough as adults.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you know what I mean? I've just said to you, I've just been blocked, and like obviously that has an impact on me. And it's like, well, okay, it's what it is. I don't care.
Yeah, it's. I get blocked from a lot of lives. You should have seen me last night going around all these lives and the amount of blocks I was getting.
Right. Okay.
You know, it just happens, and sometimes you.
Yeah, this was a platform that I got a rapport with, but never mind.
Bless you, darling. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. Sorry. I'm glad I've got that out of the open. But I just think it's interesting how it affects us. This app, it is interesting.
Well, I do singing, and I've done makeup for quite a few years on even Facebook, and I was doing it for 2 years, and I was fine with trolls. But then I ended up pregnant with my daughter, and I got trolled really bad, and even I wasn't prepared for that to the point I had to come off the app for over a year, and it made my mental health so bad. So that is.
What did you get trolled for then? What were they saying?
Because I was poorly while I was pregnant, so there was just being horrible and trolling.
Oh dear.
Saying I didn't deserve my daughter and stuff. It was the most disgusting, like vile troll. I won't even say what they said.
No.
Because obviously
it's interesting how it can like this side of the internet. It's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's what kids are vulnerable, aren't they? And we don't know.
Yeah.
The mind.
That's why I don't agree with kids being on here. Yeah, they also cause it as well, can create it. They also can be a victim or like kind of the other side of it and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these kids are they'll act tough and act like, you know, comments and, you know, the cussing and things doesn't affect them, but
they're so vulnerable. They're so like impressionable and they're just. They need sheltering, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Shannon,
there is an app called Family Link that you can put on your phone, and you put it on your child's phone.
Yeah,
right. To authorize everything they download. It's a great app. However, you still need to be checking your kids' devices because even with that app, you can receive messages. Like once you've authorized that app, the kids can then receive messages.
Do me a favour. It's getting very difficult to talk because everyone's like sort of interjecting. When somebody is talking in a box, can we ask everyone else to mute, please? Because nobody's. It's getting very difficult to hear people. Thank you. Sorry, Positive. Go on. That's very important. I would want to hear what you were saying.
I do promote that app massively. Like, it is really good to monitor, but I just check your kids' device. That's all I can say. Like, daily, not once a week. Daily, check your kids' devices. You know, it's down to you as parents to protect your kids, not an app.
Yeah. Shannon, are you there, darling?
Yeah, I'm here.
We haven't heard much from you today.
I know, I'm trying to get our work done.
It's been busy. Go on, darling.
So I was just going to say, like, if this is affecting us as adults, right, think of the effects this can have on the children actually watching this shit in the app. Now, what Positive was just saying there as well, like, as a parent, it's your responsibility to make sure your child is safe, like, especially teenager, younger than that, and literally just looking at their phones every single day. Like, my mum used to check my phone every single night before I went to bed, like, to make sure I was safe and I wasn't on it and I was not supposed to. Like, as a parent, your responsibility to make sure your child is not involving themselves and stuff like that on that. Like, it's just, you have a responsibility as an adult to make sure your children are safe. And if we're really affected like this, think really affects us because of like having children. Like what you done last night, we're going into somebody's box and was like, how would you feel if somebody in this box wasn't here tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Like that's like so important, that the fact you've been around this app and actually done that, and actually big respect to the person's live who actually held that live and ended that live, from what you said. But it's our responsibility. Like, you're affected, I'm affected, everybody in these boxes and everybody on TikTok is affected by this guy right now, and it's not nice for us. So, like, your children are as strong as you, and like, we're a prime example to our children, and we should be setting an example to our children, not to be involving themselves in this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Bless you, darling. Bless you. Has anybody else got anything else that they would like to say?
Everyone's gone dead quiet now.
Everyone's gone quiet. Okay. Guys, it's that time. We have run over, as we keep doing. We always run over. But I'm going to go and get me business open. I'm going to go sort my life out. I will be back on at lunchtime, guys, about 1 o'clock. And we're going to have a bit of fun. But in the meantime, if you do stumble on these lives, please report them. Please report them. All right, guys, thank you to everyone for your heart me's. We've grown again today. Thank you so much to all our new team members. Thank you for all the team bracelets and gifts. And thank you to everyone that's come through to my live and also contributed in the boxes or in the conversation. You're all appreciated. We do this every single morning from about 8, half 8, officially 9, but we're on a bit earlier these days. So, guys, hope you join us again, and I'll see you all later. All right?
Bye, everyone.
Following me and all the other hosts in our box. Thank you, Sarah. Love you, girl. Take care, everyone. Love to you all.
Thank you for having me, Lyrical.
Bye, everyone.
Doing this.
Bye-bye.